Today's podcast is brought to you by Latrobe 4th of July celebration. Whitney Ballfield gets new life after a major community effort. Volunteers build hundreds of bikes for children in need. And in sports, the Steelers training camp countdown honors Franco Harris. It's June 26, 2026. I'm Abigail Hakis, and this is your Bulletin Brief. A local couple is working to preserve the history of Whitney and bring new energy back to one of the former coal town's most familiar community spaces. Colby and Dave Grasmick purchased the Whitney Ballfield property in March after the Youngstown Whitney Volunteer Fire Department, which had owned the field and nearby land, was unable to host games during the 2025 season while the property was up for sale. The Grasmicks closed on the land for $285,000 with the goal of bringing baseball back to a field that had hosted American Legion games and hundreds of fans for decades. But the field needed serious work. When the couple took over, they found the area covered in rocks, weeds, and mud. Since then, they've been working to restore it with help from across the community. Dave Grasmick said they used 6 loads of dirt and added French drains to the infield to help with muddy conditions caused by underground springs. The couple also worked to make the bathrooms more accessible by adding an ADA-compliant ramp. And the support didn't stop there. More than 40 players and coaches from the Greater Latrobe girls softball team helped clear large rocks from the field. Local businesses and organizations donated materials, labor, and equipment, including help with fencing, drainage, pest control, field supplies, waste collection, and landscaping. Unity Township will also continue helping with maintenance after the Grasmicks leased the field to the township for $1. Colby Grasmick told the Bulletin the response has been overwhelming, saying the community has, quote, hugely come together. For her, the project is also personal. Her family has roots in Whitney, and she remembers watching games from the back of her father's truck as a child. She said her late grandfather loved the Legion team. That sense of history is still part of the field today. An 82-year-old Whitney resident, Jim Lesko, recently stopped by and shared memories of the Whitney Whippets baseball team, including stories of players drinking water from ladles in buckets. The first Friday night game earlier this month drew between 250 and 300 spectators. American Legion baseball games are expected to continue at Whitney Ballfield through June 28th, with the final game planned as a Sunday Fun Day event featuring grilled chicken, TV shirt giveaways, music from DJ Scott Dixon, and live performer Steve Johnson. And if the Grasmicks have anything to say about it, baseball at Whitney Ballfield will continue for years to come. And in Mount Pleasant Township, a cloudy sky and gusty winds didn't stop nearly 100 volunteers from showing up to help children across the region. United Way of Southwestern Pennsylvania held its annual Build-A-Bike event June 18th at Mammoth Park, where 97 volunteers from 13 companies and organizations spent about 2 hours assembling bikes. By the end of the event, 200 bikes were built. It was one of 3 Build-A-Bike events held across 3 days. Altogether, 600 bikes were assembled for children in Westmoreland, Fayette, Butler, and Allegheny counties. The bikes built at Mammoth Park were distributed by United Way to 12 partner agencies serving children in Westmoreland and Fayette counties. Locally, Latrobe Kinder School received 10 bikes and Westmoreland Community Action received 45. United Way Senior Director of Regional Impact Jesse Sprajkar said the organization works closely with partner agencies to make sure the bikes go to children who need them. She said many families are facing higher costs for food, utilities, rent, and other needs, and a bike might not be something they can afford during the summer. She said filling even a little bit of the gap for a child is the goal. Since 2014, United Way has distributed 3,300 bikes to children through the program. Looking for a great way to celebrate the 4th of July? Make plans for the Latrobe 4th of July celebration, one of the region's biggest Independence Day events. The fun starts with a parade through downtown Latrobe at 10:30 a.m., then continues at Legion Keener Park with an all-day festival beginning at noon. You'll find live music, over 20 food trucks, marketplace vendors, bingo, yard games, carnival games, and plenty for the kids, including a birthday party for America with a magician, an animal show, bounce houses, and an 80-foot obstacle course. You can jump into the activities or just relax in the park and enjoy the music. And aside from food trucks and marketplace vendors, everything is free. The night wraps up with one of the area's largest fireworks displays, featuring an extended grand finale at 9:30 p.m. Free shuttle service is available throughout the day. For the full schedule, visit latrobecelebration.com. We'll see you there. And now, on to sports. Friday marks 32 days until the Steelers are set to return to Latrobe for training camp. And number 32 carries a special place in Steelers history. That number belonged to Franco Harris, one of the most iconic players in franchise history. Harris is remembered by many fans for the Immaculate Reception, one of the most famous plays in both Steelers and NFL history. But his legacy goes far beyond that single moment. He was a 4-time Super Bowl champion, the MVP of Super Bowl IX, the NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Year in 1972, and a Pro Football Hall of Fame inductee in 1990. Harris's playing career ended in 1984, and no Steelers player has worn number 32 since his final game with the team. Here's today's local sports schedule. In Latrobe-Derry Area Teener League action, Bardeen's will be at St. Anthony's at 5:30 p.m. Thank you again to today's sponsor, Latrobe 4th of July Celebration. And thanks again for listening. For more local news, pick up the print edition, visit LatrobeBulletinNews.com, or follow the Latrobe Bulletin on social media. I'm Abigail Hakis, and this has been your Bulletin Brief.